Wide receiver Jordyn Bailey scored 3 touchdowns for the TCU Horned Frogs last season. 2 of them were spectacular.
Cam Cook wide open in the end zone. A one-handed touchdown catch. What a grab in the back of the end zone for Jordyn Bailey.
But the leaping grab with his right paw against Baylor was not his favorite, TD.
End around, gets it to Bailey. Hoover tried to set a block. Bailey still going. Bailey! Touchdown, TCU!
Bailey dodged, weaved, and showed off some speed in the 59-yard score against Oklahoma State.
I got to showcase who I am as a player, what I'm able to do with the ball in my hands. You know, the Baylor one was good. Like, I caught the ball with one hand, but, like, it's more to me than just that. Like, I'm elusive. You know, once I get the ball, and I'm able to, you know what I'm saying, turn anything into nothing. So I'll say that was my favorite one for sure.
You did have some nice moves against the Cowboys, like you just mentioned. Here's what I want to know. How much of that can you credit to your mom?
Everything. Everything. See, she was an athlete herself.
You can hear Jordyn's mom, Casaundra Bailey, laughing in the background as he expounded on his mother's athletic prowess.
A lot of people were saying, especially when I was coming up, when I was younger, when I was running, they would say, boy, you got your speed for your mama, because my mama was running, when she ran track, she was running 10.7s. So me and my brother definitely got that speed from my mama.
That one-handed catch, how much can you credit that to your mom?
Honestly, can you catch mama? I ain't gonna put it past you if you can, but that's all me right there. That was just the instinct right there. So,
look, I think that's one of the moments where I asked you the question, do you want to be good, you want to be great, or you want to be legendary? That was definitely a legendary catch. I say it's still the credit to Mom.
She's the GOAT, the greatest of all time.
This is the Big Stories Podcast, where we tell the amazing and inspiring stories from across the Big 12 Conference.
I'm Cleon Wall. While searching for a compelling story to tell from Fort Worth, a short piece in TCU magazine caught my eye. It was titled, "For the Baileys, Football is a Family Affair." In it, Jordyn Bailey heaped praise on his mother, saying he wouldn't be the football player he is today without Casaundra's sacrifices. That made me wonder what makes this woman so special. As it turns out, it's not just the athletic genes she passed down to her children.
I played everything, basketball, volleyball, I ran track, I played softball. The football coaches at my high school in Colorado asked my dad to let me play football. He wouldn't let me. I was the one who said I'd never have children because I was going to be the first woman to play in the NBA. Wild dreams I had, wild dreams. That dream of being the first woman in the NBA, it fizzed out. I did not stop playing or working out. I still played. I coached a summer girls basketball team.
Casaundra was only 19 when she gave birth to her daughter, Deja.
It was crazy becoming a mom, but I still kind of had my athletic mind, but I didn't pursue anything after that.
Then came the Bailey brothers. First, there was Imani.
It means faith in Swahili. And before getting pregnant with him, I was told by the doctors that I would never have any more kids because I had endometriosis. And come to find out, here I am. I had Imani, so I had to call him my faith baby. And then Jordyn, his dad named him because Michael Jordan was his favorite basketball player.
So not only is he the baby, Jordyn, but you're also,
Yes.
you're named after a very, very
Yes.
famous basketball player. Good luck living up to that name.
I know, right?
The family was living in Denton, Texas, when Casaundra was diagnosed with cervical cancer.
There wasn't anything my life was threatened or anything like that. I did a lot of different things, had surgery. I had a uterine ablation because my menstruals were really heavy. I was losing a lot of blood where I was in and out of the hospital, having to have blood transfusions and different things like that. Then at that point, I was in and out of work and in and out of the hospital. And that last trip, I was like, you know, I need some help. I was exhausted. So I was like, okay, Dad, I'm moving back home.
All I really remember is that my mom was in the hospital and my grandfather coming to get us.
He got the kids for me, took them to Colorado while I transitioned and moved out of our house in Texas. And that was the initial reason for us going to Colorado.
She told us later in life that the reason we moved down is because she had got sick. She didn't even tell us she was sick.
Living in the Centennial State with other family members was a blessing for all the Baileys.
That's where it all started for real, out there in Colorado. Because, that's really all we had was each other. The dreams that we wanted to pursue in life, and my mama's just making sure that we reached our goals, and every day just was a grind, and it just really was why we all so close to this day.
One of those dreams, it has to do with packing around a pigskin.
My grandfather, who put the football in me and my brother's hands, we was on the side of his house out there. And then after that, it was like me and Imani fell in love with it. We was outside playing every day, throwing the football. I was probably 5. He was 8 years old. He hit me into the mailbox. And he messed me up pretty bad.
He hit him so hard. Oh, man. He liked to hit and hit. He hit you, and I was so angry with him. You got up, you dusted yourself off. You like, I'm okay, Mom. See, I'm good.
If we had something wrong with us, my papa would just come outside, be like, rub some dirt on it. You'd be all right.
Now, Casaundra, you're watching your boys hit each other. Was there any hesitation to say, yeah, pursue football? Football is such a violent sport.
Oh, absolutely. My choice would have been track or basketball, softball, or baseball even. Like, I really tried to deter them from football. I did not like football. So once I realized, like, oh my gosh, they really love this thing called football, I'm finding myself watching football more. I'm learning the positions. I'm learning the play so I can understand it more, so I can have a conversation and help them if I need it. Like, hey, what happened on this play?
She knew where we wanted to go. So she always used to tell us, write it down where you wanted to go. And we told her we wanted to be great, we wanted to be in the league. And she knows what's required to get there.
I am quite sure their favorite thing to tell everyone is that I tortured them with masks on the track.
Casaundra is talking about breathing masks. They're designed to restrict airflow so that the respiratory muscles work harder.
I made them run with masks on their face, and they would get tired and say they couldn't do it. And I would just tell them, no, just suck it up.
We training. It ain't no, baby, it's okay. Well, let's take a break. No, you gonna keep running. You gonna figure it out, and you gonna be great. Or you're either gonna be great, or you're not gonna get great at all.
I said, give me the mask and let me show you how you control your breathing. I put the mask on myself, and what did I do? I ran the track. I showed them how it was done. I did not just yell at them and give them direction, do this, do that, keep going and all that. I actually did it with them. I showed them if I can do it, you can do it too.
We had to fight through it. She kept telling us, if you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. And yeah, man, it was tough, but it definitely helped for the better, for sure.
Casaundra was a busy mom. Training the Bailey boys was just a side gig. She had also started classes at the University of Colorado.
So I was studying for biology, secondary education. So I was going to school Monday through Friday, working Monday through Friday. I was doing them both. One day, I was driving home and I got this cramp in my stomach and it hurt like I couldn't keep going. And my baby sister lived in Parker. So I called her and I was like, I think I need to go to the hospital. Something's wrong. So I stopped at her house and she took me to the hospital. And I was in emergency surgery because my appendix were about to rupture. So at this point, I was like, okay, I got to slow down somewhere. So I ended up finishing school online and I changed my major to business administration. but I finished. I got my bachelor's in business administration. Wow, you made me think about those times. It's kind of emotional when I think about that.
Eventually, the Bailey family settled back in Denton, Texas. Casaundra found a job that allowed her to work from home. Meanwhile, Imani and Jordyn were thriving on the football field, standing out despite being small of stature.
I was always the smallest on the team. People would always tell me, like, you're not going to get no bigger than this. You're going to be little and all of this. And I took it as motivation, and I worked even harder.
I always told them that if you believe it, you can make everybody else believe it. But if you don't believe it, you don't believe in yourself, the world won't see you.
There was just one small hiccup for Casaundra after returning to the Lone Star State.
I actually got sick again, and I was so angry. My children had to bathe me. I could hardly walk. I think I missed the entire season that year. I never missed. I do everything I can not to miss. Jordyn, you were in your 8th grade year? I missed his 8th grade year. I missed Imani's junior year, the entire season. They started playing some of the games online. I was able to watch some online. Some people would go to the game. They would call me and let me see through their phone. That was the only way I got to see them play that year.
We really had to step it up and, and clinch on to each other and hold it together for mama and the household. Just not be down, but like keep the energy in the house, keep uplifting my mom, So it was definitely tough, but we managed. We knew like we were very faithful, into the Bible and to God. So we put all our faith into the Lord. And we prayed every day that we were going to overcome.
I told Imani that before he left to go to college, that I was going to be walking again, that I was going to be okay. And I stopped taking all the medications the doctors put me on. I stopped taking everything. And I just started taking vitamins, supplements, and I started walking.
One game, she was showing us, like, I'm not missing no more games. She showed up in like a walker. And I was like, I said, there go my mama. I said, I knew then. I said, yeah, it's gonna be only a matter of time because she was like so hell-bent on not missing any more games.
I would not be here today if it wasn't by the grace of God, because I could have given up. Anybody who went through what I went through so many times over and over and over again, they would have just gave up. But I wasn't living for me. I was living for my 3 kids. So I couldn't quit. If I quit, who's going to be there and take care of them? I believe in faith and miracles. And here I am today because I was a believer. And that's what I told my kids, believe it, speak it, believe it, receive it.
The believing Baileys keep on rolling forward. Imani plays in the NFL, Jordyn is back for another season with the Horned Frogs football squad, and Casaundra owns her own life insurance agency. That flexibility means she has the freedom to fly and drive to as many of her son's games as possible. Of course, catching Jordyn's home games is a bit easier since Casaundra lives with him during the football season.
The best thing ever. It bring me back to them times when we was all living together. I get a home-cooked meal every day. It's always clean in the house.
If you want to bring friends over or stuff like that, mom never gets in the way, right?
Everybody know my mama. Everybody is cool with my mama. My mama is, she's my twin. I kid you not. I hang out with my mom and my auntie more than anybody in the world.
In 1945, former Dartmouth football player Merrill Frost was named the most courageous athlete by the Philadelphia Sports Writers Association. That's when Frost uttered the famous words, "They say behind every great man, there's a great woman." What's often left out is the humble follow-up. Frost said, while I'm not a great man, there's a great woman behind me. Jordyn Bailey echoed the same sentiment.
My mom is really like everything. She's like the jack of all trades. And so just like learning everything from her, the way that my personality is comes back from my mama. She raised me So the grit that I have, the hardness, the toughness that comes from my mama. My mama is very tough. She may be nice to a lot of people, but my mom is like real tough. Like she real tough.
Casaundra, when you hear these things, what is your reaction?
It is a wowing moment just hearing those words come out of my son's mouth. My boys, my daughter, my children are my life. I am who I am because of them. My life is no longer mine, it's theirs. So I do what I do to make sure that even though they're adults now, I still move as if they lived in the house with me. So when I'm no longer here on this earth, I have did everything in my power to make sure that they will have a life beyond football and a life without me. They're able to still sustain and keep moving. So they are everything.
A big thanks to ESPN and Fox Sports for the football highlights. BYU Radio provided post-production for this episode. I'm your host and producer, Cleon Wall. We'll have more big stories from the Big 12 in the near future. Make sure you check out BYUtv's Big Stories by logging on to BYUSN.com. Big Stories is a production of BYU Radio.